Guys, how's it going? MasterBucks here and welcome to another FIFA 20 career mode video. Finally, the day has come. We are finally able to play with a certain in particular player in career mode, one that we've all pretty much been looking forward to, me personally, for actually quite a while now. And I know plenty of you have as well. It is Ansu Fati, who is now finally, after turning 17 years of age, I think it was like October 31st was his birthday, he's now finally turned 17, which means he is now officially able to be in FIFA. What we're going to do today is go through all of his stats, him as a player as he is right now in the game, go through overall rating, potential, everything like that, and then advance on ahead, maybe play a game with him as well, and see how he ends up. Does he fulfill the 90 potential? Does he become a superstar like at the moment he could be touted to be? And before we get on with this one, I'll very quickly let you all know that I am running yet another giveaway thanks to Foot United. Now, I know we specifically focus a bit more on career mode when it comes to FIFA with this channel, but one of the new things added to FIFA this year within Ultimate Team that I'm a big fan of is actually the Foot Friendlies. Game modes like King of the Hill, Mystery Ball, which is an absolute laugh and a half, that is for damn sure. And then there's also swaps as well, which is definitely quite interesting, where 3 players from your team are swapped with 3 players from the other team, and you never know who it's going to be, so you end up losing sometimes some pretty key players, but so does the other guy. It can be a pretty jokes game mode, and it's the basis for this giveaway. To enter the giveaway, this is what you have to do. I want you to tell me in a tweet, a screenshot, or a video, whatever, what your favorite or most memorable moments has been whilst playing swaps in FIFA 20. All that I ask of you, no matter where you post it on social media, is you have to use these hashtags. Hashtag FootAU and hashtag EA Contest. Make sure you're using those 2 hashtags, otherwise the entry will not be submitted. The winner of the giveaway will take home their pick of an ultimate scream card for their ultimate team. Be sure to check out footunited.com by clicking the link in the description down below. Check out the details of the giveaway and everything. Best of luck with the giveaway, everybody, but now back onto this one. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, Ansu Fati, finally in the game, of course, declared for Spain too, so his nationality is Spanish as well. And I gotta be honest, even though it's not his, I don't know if am I going to get some heat for this? I don't know. Even though he's not got a real in-game face, I gotta be honest, the default face that he's got isn't too far off. That's just my genuine, I don't know, that's just my opinion. But yeah, he's a left winger that can also play at right wing, 16 years of age, that turned 17 toward the end of October, and the status is an exciting prospect. We already know that his potential is a bang-on 90. Now, an exciting prospect, if you've got that status, it means you've got bucket loads of potential, which I think this man should have and deserves to have. If you didn't know, the youngest debutant in La Liga, and I'm going to be completely honest with you all, everybody, I was at his debut game. I was there at the Camp Nou. I saw this man come off of the bench. Like, you know the moment where Messi came off the bench and replaced Deco? I was there for that, but with this guy, potentially. Hopefully, I'm really hoping that this kid ends up becoming a legit superstar and just a gun. Because if he does, then that is going to be so awesome for me to say, oh yeah, you know, I was at his debut game. I always knew it was going to be great. I'm really hoping. I've got fingers crossed. But let's take a look though, very quickly at his actual stats, because I wanted to see if you guys think they've got it sort of accurate. He's got obviously plenty of pace, dribbling's okay. Shooting and passing is actually, for a winger, they tend to normally make the technical stats a bit worse than, say, if you were a central midfielder or a striker. So I feel like they've done, just as a, you know, general summation of his pace, shooting, passing, dribbling and all that stuff, I think they've done him pretty nicely. 4-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves. I agree with the skill moves. The weak foot, I think maybe you could argue was probably pretty fair as well. But things like acceleration and sprint speed, not exactly a 90. He's not the absolute quickest player, but he's definitely got the ability, the agility there as well. Stamina at 55, maybe could I do with a little kick up the arse. The things like strength and whatnot, I say whatever. But his skill attributes I actually find quite interesting, because there's no stat that seems incredibly high up. Like, I feel like his dribbling, his finishing at 72, I feel like his dribbling and his finishing, they're some of his higher stats. I'm going to be honest with you, I almost feel like they could almost be a little higher already. 74 penalties, even though I swear he hasn't taken one yet, and even I don't think he has. So 74 penalties, for that to be his highest technical stat, is pretty interesting. Shot power at 65, can almost argue that can go up a bit. Volleys, I'm not so sure about again either, but no, it's regardless, the majority of his stats are pretty well rounded in that, around that 70 mark, which is bang on his overall. I gotta say too as well, I think with that 71 overall, that's probably fair. I'm going to say that that's fair. If it was rated lower than 70, then I'd be like, well, hang on a second here. This guy is getting into the Barcelona first 11 on a regular basis. How is he not even in the 70s? 71, I think, is okay. Even though he's probably better than that, it's just still too early. I think he'll end up being one of those players which, you know, he starts off low, you know, 71 overall base rating to begin FIFA, but he'll eventually finish. I don't think he'll finish in the 80s this season, but they'll probably get him up to, I would say, high 70s. I reckon he'll end up finishing FIFA 20 at around about a 77, 78 overall if he keeps going the way he's going. And then you roll over to FIFA 21 and maybe he's kicking around an 80 overall or something. I think that's just my general guess with how he seems to be going. But football is a funny game, and you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put Ansu Fati in the starting 11 of this Barcelona team. Obviously, there's plenty of quality players and plenty of quality attackers and wingers that'll more than likely, when we sim ahead, make it that Ansu Fati will not be making appearances. But I'm going to put him in the starting 11, hope that maybe that does something. We see him make appearances, get games in. Hopefully that helps his dynamic potential. But genuinely, I just want to advance ahead and see how he goes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's begin the Ansu Fati growth test. And just as a starter, I'm only going to sim halfway through the first season, and then we'll sim to the end of it, check things like stats, his progression, his growth, everything like that. And then once we finish up the first season, I'll just push on ahead a couple more, see where he's at after about 4 or 5 years. So we're in January. We'll take a quick look at the table. I'll let you know that Barcelona are undefeated and doing way better than they actually are in real life at the moment. And at the moment, Ansu Fati is not even the highest grower in the Barcelona team. It's this Reese guy, but he is going up just a little bit by +2 in his overall at the moment, halfway through the season, or around about halfway through. I'll tell you the one thing, or the several things that have seriously shot up. Look at his acceleration, up from 89 to start to 96. His agility's gone up by tons. His sprint speed only by a little bit, but that acceleration has just gone rapid, like literally. Not much improvement to his technical ability. He's gone up by 1 with his long passing and shooting. A little bit of defensive awareness and heading accuracy, but aside from that, it's not that much. And this is what I feared would happen as well, stat-wise. Even though I put him in the starting 11, he's not actually playing games. So I don't know what I do about this. Do I just remove all my left wingers? You know what? This might seem pretty harsh, but who am I? Okay, Ousmane Dembele. I'm just going to cut. For the sake of this one video, I'm going to do him so dirty. I'm just releasing him from his contract. And, oh my God, Coutinho is not actually playing for us, but is there anyone else that might potentially take games away from Ansu Fati? Ruiz, maybe? I think Griezmann would probably take games away from him as well, wouldn't he? He bloody would too, and look, he's the highest goal scorer in the team at the moment. Bloody, he's absolutely just dominating Lionel Messi compared to his 15 goals, 11 assists. You got bloody Griezmann on fire, but he's probably taking games away from Ansu Fati. Okay, for this one, I'm just gonna do it. Sorry, mate, but 40 goals in about... Sorry, mate, but like 40 goals and assists combined in less than 25 games. I mean, that's just not good enough, mate. I'm sorry, mate. It's just, you're not gelling with Messi. That's the problem, bro. Well, I think I've just pissed away the title for Barcelona. But again, I don't care about the title. I just want to see Ansu Fati grow and try to get to the highest overall that he possibly can. Well, as it would turn out, getting rid of what? Ousmane Dembele and Antoine Griezmann didn't really have that much of an effect after all. As a matter of fact, we only ended up getting 105 points for the season and finished off, oh no, that was the beginning of the year, sorry, with like a 6-0 win against Athletic Bilbao, but goddamn, not the 1-0 or 2-1 loss that it was in real life for them. Jesus, but okay. Barcelona still win the title, good to see. But at the end of the first season, Ansu Fati, with all his 90 potential, only went up by 3. Obviously, there's no training there, and whatever games he played are the games he played. I'm sort of optimistic. I haven't seen actual numbers yet for the season, but he's got a green thumbs up for play time, which makes me think that hopefully he's made a few appearances. I mean, again, he's only a prospect squad role player, so who knows? Wow, would you take a look at that? At the end of the day, he only made 3 appearances. What? Who else is taking games away from him? Bro, I don't know. What do I do about this? We just have to wait for him to get to a slightly higher overall, and then maybe he'll start getting chucked into the actual starting 11. Okay, first season out the way, it's just +3 for Ansu Fati in this first season. But what about the second season? I think hopefully we'll see a bit more from him. So back again for another season, and look, we've got Coutinho now in the team that can steal games away from Ansu Fati. So You already know what's going to happen. I'm sorry, I've got it. It's got to be done. Coutinho's getting released for 13 mil, and who else could steal games? Look, we've got Messi and Suarez, right wing and at striker. Who else can play at left wing? You've got Ruiz, you've got Tabla, whatever, Balu Tabla, all right, whatever. And what, Abe, but like there's no one else. Surely I didn't need to get rid of anyone else now. I'm looking for literally anyone else that can also play left wing that's higher rated. Ruiz can play, that's higher rated than Ansu Fati. I don't know if there is one. All right then, let's fire up another season and see where Ansu Fati is at the end of a second season in FIFA 20 career mode. And after advancing ahead throughout the second season, Ansu Fati now is at a 76, growing by only +2 with his overall, which for a 90 potential player, it seems a bit low, I definitely would have to say. Only increasing by 5 overall in the last 2 seasons. I don't get it, but if you look at specifically what's going up, you'll see that the acceleration, the agility, and the sprint speed are all 99 overall, and they have just soared up. This guy's going to be a monster to play with. Technical attributes are growing by just a little bit here or there, but ultimately his stats are almost the exact same as to what they were 2 seasons ago. And maybe this might have a little bit to do with it because the guy is just not playing games. It doesn't matter how many players I fuck off. He is not getting games. They are refusing to let him play despite me putting him in the starting 11. Do I just need to sell and delist every single left winger in the team, every midfielder? I don't know what else to do. I am honestly just, what the hell? I have no idea how to solve this. I'm just going to delist every single bloody attacker apart from, like, honestly, I got no other choice. How do I get this guy playing games? The second I do, I'm hoping that this will all be solved and sorted out. But regardless, season 3. Okay, we're in season 3. Let's just release, all right, Abe, I'm sorry, mate, you're going to have to go. Who else? Who else is possibly taking games away from him? I don't know. At this point, I'm about ready to just bugger off Messi and Suarez. I don't know. What's it going to take? You know, I'm going to change my approach here. Let's get rid of Cucurella, actually. Yeah, let's see, because he's like a left mid, not really a left winger, but he might be playing. He's higher rated. I'll get rid of him as well. If you were expecting just an Ansu Fati playthrough, no, this is just becoming an experiment video. What happens if you delist the entire Barcelona team? Apparently, they still win titles. Hopefully, this motherfucker is actually going to start playing games now. I swear. Let's advance on ahead once again and hope for, I don't know, just the odd appearance here or there at this point I'm going to take. And look, even if he doesn't end up making that many appearances this season, we can at least think of it this way. This is the sort of overall that you should expect Ansu Fati to be, depending on what point in your career modes you're at. If you're only a season in, then expect him to only be up by 3 or 4. If you're only 2 seasons in, expect him to be up by like 5 or 6 with his starting overall. Apparently, he's not getting that much game time normally at Barcelona, so his growth probably is being impeded a bit. So, season 3, there is good news and bad news. Let's get the bad news out of the way first. Ansu Fati is just not fulfilling, or at least he's not in a rush to get to that 90 potential at the moment. He's only gone up by 1 overall, despite the fact he's got good player performances, good playtime, contract and everything. And let me tell you that he has actually started playing some games. Albeit just, 13 appearances on the season, but 12 games in La Liga. He even scored 2 goals. And look at the ratings that he's got. 7.4 in all of those games. That's pretty damn good. Made a Champions League appearance. You've got to take that. It's bloody better than everything else that we've seen from him so far, but yet he's still only going up by 1 or 2 overall every single season. My man is in absolutely no rush to get to this 90 overall, to the point where I'm thinking I might change things up a bit. As good as it is going season by season by season, it's just taking too long. I'm going to simulate ahead until we can hopefully get to a point where he's hitting his peak. So I'm going to have to go a few seasons into the future. Bear with me, but we will see what an Ansu Fati looks like in, let's say, close to his mid-20s, hitting his prime. Is he that 90 overall, or is he still just way off the mark? So I've arrived at the year 2025. This is a good 6 seasons into the future. I also used to do a series a little bit like this back in the day, where I take individual high potential players, simulate to 2025, and we'd see what their overall is. This is like years ago. This is almost becoming a throwback video. And after 6 whole seasons, ladies and gentlemen, can you guess what Ansu Fati's rating is? Honestly, 6 seasons now, alright? Remember that he started at 71. Well, I'll tell you, he's now only 81. He's gone up by 10 overall in just the space of a couple, what, 6 whole years. I know he's only 22 years of age right now, so to be fair to him, he's still got a fair few years to go, but I tell you what, it's a damn slow burn for him to get to this 90 potential. He's actually playing games now. He's at an overall where he can play quite regularly. As a matter of fact, he's played 32 games. He's made 32 appearances and only scored 2 goals, not a single assist. Sprint speed, acceleration, and, agility, all that stuff, that's soared up to a 99 within like a season and a half. Everything else has just been so slowly been getting little by little better. It's insane. This is definitely a player, if you're going to buy, you just want to have to train up, because I don't even know if just natural growth is going to get you anywhere near that 90 potential in any sort of hurry. There are some stats that occasionally just are like, wow, that really kicked off. Like, look at his long shots. That's gone from, being 70, low 70 rated, 71 I think it was, along with his long passing, to holy shit, out of nowhere, he's a 96 long shots, and his finishing's improved quite a fair bit too. Ball control and dribbling though was pretty disappointing for a winger, especially with one with that much pace, and you'd want their ball control and dribbling for a winger to be as high as it could possibly be. So it's a bit of a weird one, this. I think he's definitely more one that you would have to buy relatively early on and train up to get him to sort of any decent level, especially if you're a big team, which I'm assuming really they're the only sort of teams that can be able to afford him. But there you go. Ansu Fati is a slow grind, but I feel like eventually he will get there. And some stats that just go soaring out of nowhere. But there you go. That is Ansu Fati in FIFA 20. We just had Rodrigo, by the way, score a hat-trick in the Champions League. Can you imagine if those two grew up and became the next Messi-Ronaldo, rivalry? Like, who knows? It's early days, but how good would that be? Till the next episode. Till the next video, my name is MasterBucks. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a good one.